This is Bruce Boudreau, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans and hey hockey fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is, I can't believe I had to look. It is Tuesday, June the 13th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks everyone for being here. I have to move pretty quickly tonight because it's Tuesday night. This is the night where I have to be at my church exactly at midnight. So I'll go for a good 40 minutes, but probably not much longer. Thank you for being here. Right away, moderators, do what you need to do. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support as always. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world. Thank you for being here. You know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here, I always appreciate you, and I never take you for granted. So subscribe so you can get active in the chat section and you get my videos whenever I do them. I used to say every single day, but it's not right now. Like the video. There are 20 of you in here already, which is great. I need more likes. There's only 5 of them. So make sure you hit the thumbs up button. You can leave a donation, get that donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership, which is the same as a $5 donation. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. I will talk about the Stanley Cup Finals for about 15 minutes. Then I'll do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I will turn it over to all of you because I think I'm sure you guys have a lot to say on a night where the Vegas Golden Knights destroy, pummel the Florida Panthers by a score of 9-3. 9-3. I can't remember the last time a Stanley Cup clinching game was 9-3, but yes, they win 9-3. They win 4-1, exactly like the Denver series over Miami, which I forgot to mention on. Oh no, I didn't do a stream last night. Canucks After Dark, we didn't mention it, but yes, Denver versus Miami, exact same thing. 2 home game wins, then the home team wins, then the home team wins a third, and then the eventual winner wins game 4 and game 5. And in both cases, the Florida team comes up on the short end of the stick. It's kind of funny how the two series ran kind of parallel, and they wind up only one day after the other. I'm going to talk about tonight's game, go through the box score really quickly, and then I'm going to frame my discussion based on 4. And by the way, Jaskrin, we got to give some love to Jaskrin. Even though I have something to do at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., I'll make sure to watch Clay's live stream. Jaskrin, I appreciate you. You know how much I appreciate you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to focus on these 4 storylines. And I put this on my Twitter account, as you can see. I said so many intriguing storylines, including Vegas taking only 6 years to win a cup, as their owner predicted. Marchessault winning the Conn Smythe as the playoff MVP. We have Matthew Tkachuk's broken sternum, his broken breastbone, which is crazy. And then Jack Eichel winning a Stanley Cup before Connor McDavid. So I just put this on Twitter, got 87 votes so far. I just put it up 20 minutes ago. And right now, 48% says it's the fact that Vegas won in only 6 years. 24% saying Jack Eichel wins before Connor McDavid, the Stanley Cup. Matthew Tkachuk's broken sternum at 21%, and only 7% are saying that Marchessault winning the Conn Smythe is the most intriguing storyline. So I'll put that up again in a couple of minutes. But first, let's talk about tonight's game. I did not watch. Actually, Justin, tell me about the Ekblad injuries. I did not watch the game tonight. I actually was practicing for a wedding, playing the piano for a wedding with joined by a couple wonderful singer friends. And then I went. The game ended well. I was driving out there, and then had the wedding practice. So I did not see the game. I haven't even watched actually any highlights. What I did watch though is Mark Stone getting the Stanley Cup from Gary Bettman, who actually didn't get booed, which is surprising. Maybe that's an intriguing storyline too. It was Mark Stone to Riley Smith to Jonathan Marchessault. Then it went through all the 6 original Vegas guys. So it's Smith, Marchessault, Theodore, Carlson, and I'm missing 2 guys. Is it Carrier? No, it's not Carrier, is it? I know I'm missing 2 guys, but there are 6 original Vegas Golden Knights. If you guys can remember the other 2 guys, put it in the chat. I would love to know as well. Well, Aaron Ekblad, 2 dislocated shoulders, broken foot, and a torn oblique. That is pretty crazy. That's and every year it's the same. Just as Ryan Kessler and the Canucks were beat up when they made it to the finals, losing in Game 7. We can see that there are a lot of injuries. Obviously, Riley Smith. So Smith, Marchessault, Theodore, McNabb, Carlson, and I'm missing one, but I know there are 6 of them. So let's talk about this game first, and then I'll touch on those 4 storylines, and then I will turn it over to all of you. Once again, thanks everyone for being here. You look at the stat sheet, looks pretty equal. Florida outshoots Vegas 35-32, face-offs, 55-45. Look at this, only 2 penalty minutes in the entire game. Maybe that's because Matthew Tkachuk wasn't playing, or Florida simply didn't want to take any bonehead penalties. And although actually it was on a Vegas penalty that they got the party going, because Mark Stone scores a short-handed goal. Not a power play goal, but a short-handed goal. So hardly any power plays. Hits were exactly even. The Knights had more block shots. But if you look at just this part of the box score, it looks like it was a very even game. Theodore and Carrier. Okay, so the 6 originals were Smith, Marchessault, Theodore, McNabb, Carrier, and Carlson. Thank you for that, everyone in the chat helping me out. And then, of course, a couple of them came in garbage time, but you had Reinhart and Bennett getting 2 points each. But you look at Vegas, you had 3 assists for Eichel, you had 3 goals for Mark Stone, and you had 3 assists for Shea Theodore, and then Aiden Hill playing super well once again. We know that Marchessault ends up winning he only had 1 point today, but he ends up winning the Conn Smythe Trophy remember, it's not the finals MVP. That's different. It's interesting. For hockey, it's the playoff MVP, and for basketball, it's the finals MVP. A small nuance, but a big difference for sure. But Marchessault did enough to get his name on the Conn Smythe Trophy. And we can look at that real quick. I was looking at the stats. So you look at Vegas, Eichel had 26 points, 6 of them goals. Marchessault had 25 points, just 1 fewer, but 13 of them goals. Mark Stone had 8 coming in this game, so a bit kind of inflated from tonight's game, but it's still not to take anything away from. So as you'd expect, you have Vegas, Florida, Vegas. So you have Vegas. 6 of the top 10 scores in the playoffs were from Vegas or Florida, which actually tells you pretty crazy how good of a playoff McDavid and Draisaitl. They played in basically half the games, only 12, two rounds worth, and they had 20 points and 18 points respectively. So pretty crazy stuff. So basically, I wanted to just talk for the next 5 minutes about each of these points. And then now you see there's been 95 votes, so a few more votes on Twitter. By the way, I said, what was the more surprising result? Denver winning in 5 or Vegas winning in 5? And 61% said that actually Vegas winning in 5 was a bigger surprise. But let's get to what we're talking about, and that is a few of the storylines. And like I said, I will then turn it over to you after about 5 minutes. So the first one, and the one that's winning the poll, is the fact that Vegas wins the cup in only 6 years. What was crazy is owner Bill Foley, when they first came in the league, he said, I want to make the playoffs in 3 years. I want to win a Stanley Cup in 6 years. Well, we know in their first year, they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, losing to the Washington Capitals in 5 games. And then 5 years later, they win the Stanley Cup, fulfilling his prediction of winning in 6 years. We know how Vegas built their team very well, and Marchessault and Smith were basically poster childs for how Vegas was really smart, or other general managers were not very smart when it came to the expansion draft, basically trading guys like Marchessault and Smith so other guys weren't taken, and you just see how quickly Vegas built the roster compared to Seattle. Seattle did make it to, obviously the second round of the playoffs this year, but the fact that that Vegas was able to build their team so quickly. I know some people don't like Vegas because of the way they maybe treated Marc-Andre Fleury, maybe the way they treated a couple other players. Some would kind of accuse them of circumventing the cap a couple times, but you cannot argue with their success. You can't argue with the fact that they are a Stanley Cup champion 6 years in their existence. Now, as Canucks fans, the majority of us in here are Canucks fans. I'm sure the natural tendency will be, I can't speak for all of you. Some of you, I'm sure, will be mad that the Vegas has won a cup in 6 seasons and the Canucks are still looking for their first cup. I think others of you are jealous. Maybe some of you are sad. Maybe some of you don't care. I wouldn't say that I don't care, but I'm not mad. I'm not bitter. I'm not even jealous of Vegas. I think this should challenge Vancouver management. It should challenge Buffalo management. It should challenge Ottawa management. It should challenge basically any franchise that hasn't won a Stanley Cup yet. It should challenge them. It should challenge them to the fact that this team, this upstart team, this team that's only 6 years in existence, are now Stanley Cup champions. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you that you should be or you shouldn't be mad, happy, jealous, envious, sad, disappointed. But I'm really curious, and I think I might do a video about this tomorrow. Is kind of how Vegas, not necessarily how Vegas got here, but really what the natural reaction is from Vancouver Canucks fans. So again, I'm not judging any of you, just as I know you don't judge me, but I'm very curious to hear about your your own views on that in a couple of minutes. So that's the first thing is Vegas winning the cup in 6 years. Marchessault winning the MVP, maybe not, at least on Twitter, it hasn't been the most intriguing storyline for most people. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. I thought there's a bit of intrigue there between him, Eichel, Stone, or Adin Hill. It could have been a four horse race for sure. Then there's Matthew Tkachuk's broken sternum. Apparently this was suffered in game 3. So remember in game 3, he scored the game tying goal to send it overtime and then they won. And then he played all of game 4. He didn't look that effective in game 4, but he was out there in the last minute and taking all those penalties. So apparently there's stories coming out where he couldn't even get out of bed on the day of game 4 and his brother or teammate, I think his brother Brady, had to help him get out of bed. That is crazy. It just shows how tough he is. It shows how tough hockey players are and how badly they want to win. So that is a crazy story to me. I didn't mean to make light of it. I'm not making light of it at all, but I did tweet out that the last time I heard of a broken sternum was when Andre the Giant, the wrestler, had his sternum broken when King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd double teamed him and Bundy gave him a bunch of splashes while Big John Studd was holding his legs down. Anyways, I digress. So that's a bit on Tkachuk's broken sternum. And then I know some people are making, it's the second biggest story according to my poll, is the fact that Jack Eichel won a Stanley Cup before Connor McDavid. Obviously, we know they were drafted in the same year, and McDavid was the consensus number 1 pick. Jack Eichel, just as a young, competitive player was bitter might be too strong of a word because you got to be realistic. But I know Eichel thinks he's a very good player himself in his own right. Some around the league called him a bit of a whiner, a bit of a pouter. Some didn't like the way he orchestrated his exit out of Buffalo. But you can't really judge his medical history. You can't really judge his intentions. And now you can't really judge the fact that he is a Stanley Cup champion. So I will, there's 4 storylines there that you could use as your fodder, or you can bring up anything else about tonight's game, about the series, about Gary Bettman, about the Canucks vis-a-vis Vegas. Remember, we were one game away from defeating the same Vegas team in the bubble. That was a way different team, obviously, with Horvat, with Markstrom. Of course, it was Demko, though, with Tanev, Edler, Toffoli, Stetcher, so on and so forth. But we can talk about that as well. So I'm going to leave it to you for the last 20 minutes. I'm going to answer as many of your questions as I can, but I'll do it intelligently, not rushing. Might not get to ask me anything today because I think it's going to be mostly, I think tonight, because it's the last game of the season, we should focus on this season, on Vegas, on Florida, and the Canucks by extension, and any ramifications. So I'll get to all of your questions, your new questions. I won't circle back, but let me do my mid-show sponsor read first. And remember, I do got to wrap up at 11:40 tonight because this is the night that I go to my church for my prayer hour. Okay. First, shout out to my primary sponsor, Vancity Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. You can check out their services at ptform.com. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey Nine Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the URL, tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next pair of Vessi shoes that you buy. A mid-show reminder for you to donate. Let's get that donation train out of the station, especially on a night where the season is basically over. Not basically, the season is over. This is the final game of this year's 2022-2023 season. So you can leave a donation, get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership, become a member, upgrade your membership. You can subscribe, as I encourage you to do, and you can like this video as well. And then if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Let's go. 20 minutes of asking your Canucks, playoff, and hockey questions. Let's go. Didn't we expect Vegas to miss the playoffs at the start of the season? I thought I had... Oh, I don't even know what I had. No, I just know I had the Canucks in third. Looking forward to watching the Canucks trade down to get rid of an anchor contract they put themselves into. Not sure if that's going to happen, JC. We'll see. Melody Martin's reaction to Eichel winning. Does she do videos anymore? Do you think the Canucks trade Stadnyka this summer? Or has he proved himself enough to stay? You know, Fangirl, that's a good question. I keep talking about the Canucks wingers and stuff, and I keep forgetting to mention Stadnyka. I think he's kind of like one of those borderline 13th guys. I don't know if they trade him. I don't think you get anything for him. What we need to do is get rid of Green and Benning and not fire Bruce. As you cannot point fingers, it was the whole team. Oh, you're talking about the slow start to last season? That is, or this season? That is true, Shannon. It's sad and funny that Vancouver hasn't won a cup in those 50 years and Vegas won in 6 and might win even more. Coyotes should move to New Orleans and call the Sudiques and have the Fleur de Lis as logo. Their Central Time, perfect for the Central Division. What does the Sudiques mean? If the Canucks offered OEL and an unprotected first round next year, would any team take that deal? OEL and an unprotected first. I think a team, well, it depends what you have to give up. And I think any team that needs help getting to the salary cap floor might consider that. No cup for Luongo and Kachuk is A-okay with me. For me, the fans of Vegas are lame ducks. They take a team like the Nucks or any Canadian teams and it'll be a party till the new season eclipses. Yeah, someone explained to me, I heard people making fun of the Vegas fans. Why is that? Are they doing something funny or silly? Let me know. Put it in the chat. JS, I streamed Sunday. I'm streaming today. I will not stream tomorrow, so I'm debating whether or not I stream on Thursday. I have not decided yet, so I might do one on Thursday, but I definitely won't do one tomorrow. Intrigued by how Hsmfangirl can do next season. And if you can replicate it. Yeah, sophomore slump, other teams catching on. We shall see. Our management is better than it was with Green and Benning. Yeah, some would say there's some stability with Rutherford and Alvin. Nordiques is northern and Sudiques is south. I did not know that. Thank you, Fillmore. Vegas is $14 million over the cap. The NHL needs to fix this rule. I'm disgusted seeing that team even getting the final. They were $14 million over the cap? So what is the rule? You just got to be cap compliant for the regular season and the cap doesn't count in the playoffs? I don't get it. What is the rule, Ricky? I did not know they're 14 million over the cap. Thank you, JS. How traumatized was Longo when his team was twice blown out in the Stanley Cup Finals? Yeah, I'm sure he's not happy right now. Sky, I don't mind Bettman. I know he's pretty stubborn, but I know a lot of owners like him because anytime a team pays that expansion fee, that they get a little bit richer. So I don't mind him. I think he has a tough job. I think he's done a decent job. Would I do Miller and 11th for Columbus for 3rd overall and a right-hand D? Would I do that? Yes, I would. I don't think Columbus does. When will the Canucks schedule come out? Usually not till August. Does it come out that early in the summer? I don't think it comes out that early. Because I'm trying to think of when I sell season tickets and stuff like that. I thought it's not till August. Vegas fans aren't really celebrating like a winning team should. Oh, and what does that mean? Let me know what that means. Do I feel bitter? Nope. I mentioned that right off the stop, Edmund. I'm not sure if you were here from the very start. I said I'm not bitter at all. I'm not jealous. I'm not angry. I'm not any of those things. I think it pushes the Canucks to be better. I think what the Canucks need to do, if they can look at games that Vegas played and see if they can get tips on how to improve. Yeah, you can definitely take, you can take notice of some of the styles and stuff, but a lot has to do with personnel, Shannon. But I hear what you're saying for sure. Vegas fans can't possibly realize how hard it is to win the cup. They never suffered to get there. I've heard that narrative a lot, that Vegas fans don't deserve it. But I actually, respectfully, I don't buy that either. Oh, so they had a bunch of guys on LTIR that came off? What? Is there no salary cap in the playoffs? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. Ben Hutton wins the cup. That's true. Coach Rob calls Bettman shaky. Like physically or like literally or figuratively? We can never be like Vegas, but I believe we can be better than them. Okay, tell me how, Tyler. Phil Kessel's in Vegas, but was scratched, and he gets another cup. And yeah, he gets his name on the cup. You have to play half the season, 41 games, or one game in the finals. So Ben Hutton, who only played 31 games and didn't play in the finals, actually does not get his name on the cup. Cap Friendly posted tonight has to do with LTIR. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Uh-oh. Look at this guy's avatar. Clay Emo's evil twin. Okay, well, you must be good looking, even if you're evil. Who will we draft? So hard to say. So hard to say. I'll do some videos as we get closer, but it's very, very hard to say. Could be one of 8 to 10 guys. Clay, would I drop from 11 to 19 if Chicago takes OEL? So OEL and 11 for 19. I'm not. Oh, gosh. I maybe, yeah. If it means getting off of that contract, yes. I don't think Chicago does that though. Well, maybe. I don't know what their salary cap situation is. I think it should push us. It's kind of sad. Vegas won before many teams. Now it's time to get to work. That's what I'm thinking. Bettman reminds you of Trump. Interesting. I think this season really hurts Florida. They were talking about moving a year ago. They made it back to the finals after 27 years, but didn't win again. Yeah, but they're President's Trophy season and then getting the finals. Those are 2 decent seasons for sure. I thought the fans in Vegas were kind of mad. To imagine if Canucks fans, it would be crazy in Vancouver. I agree with that. Everyone knows that Parker is in Vegas right now for work. It's pretty cool. No salary cap after the deadline. Gotcha. Thank you, Jack. No salary cap in playoffs. Thank you. The negativity, it comes from jealousy, perhaps. Vegas gambled on Eichel. He could have the neck surgery that in his career. Yeah, they did take a gamble for sure. Will I stream on draft day? Sky, I would love to, but I'm actually working. I have a big meeting planned for that day. It wasn't the best timing, but my work comes first, unfortunately. So I will have to do a reaction video instead. Yes, George McVie was part of the Canucks. I can't remember his AGM or what his role was, but he was definitely part of the team for a while. Every team that spent a lot at the deadline now has cap troubles. Let Canucks take the phone calls instead of making desperate calls. Yeah. Clay, is this you talking or evil twin? I'm not sure now. Now I'm confused myself. I believe with Talkit style, he is similar to Cassidy, but he can push the boys harder and not make as many mistakes as Vegas did. Tyler, I hear the hopefulness in your voice, but I can't say that anyone's going to be better than Vegas right now because they're the Stanley Cup champions. Boston fans must be happy, perhaps. Are Vegas fans even real fans? You can't fault them for only having a team for 6 years. It's not the fans' fault. Who is the next team to win their first cup? What are we down to? Vancouver, Buffalo, Seattle. Who else is in there? That list. St. Louis? No, St. Louis hasn't. What are we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to say Vancouver, but I'm not sure. Sharks fans should be bitter for trading Aiden Hill. I wonder if Sable was. Yeah, and you can play that coulda, shoulda, woulda game with everyone, but that's a fair question. I wonder when Travis Green gets another gig. Yes, he's been passed over a few times for sure. Who'll be the first Canadian team to win the cup after all this time? I think Toronto or Edmonton, if I had to pick a team or two. Devils might be the next to win overall. They're a good team. Is Vegas the youngest team to win a cup? Oh, you mean in terms of years in the league? That I don't know because now we're getting technical, but someone had to win a cup in the very first year of the league, so maybe not. Oh, Winnipeg hasn't won a cup. Minnie hasn't won a cup. Thank you. After the 1920 season, we had the highest chance for a Canadian team to win the cup at 41%. Wow, I don't remember seeing that, but that is high. It makes me sad. Shannon thinks Vancouver will be the next Canadian team to win the cup. Is there a reason the draft is in the middle of the week rather than the usual Friday? That's a good question because I think Friday maybe is too close to July 1, but then was June 23rd too early? That's a really great question, Ricky, because I remember the year that it was here in 2019, it was on June 22nd because it was on my birthday. That's a great question. Sharks, Wild, and Coyotes haven't won. Thank you. No problem, Tyler. I think if you're, I think I was referring to the fact that you were saying that we can be better than Vegas, and I'm not convinced yet. Oilers will win sometime soon. They have McDavid. By the way, 55 of you in here. Thank you. We are at 16 likes. Let's bump that up. And if anyone wants to get that donation train out of the station, you're more than welcome to. It's ready to go. Winnipeg is another team. Thank you. What's a trade that I want to see happen? Garland or Beauvillier with retained salary. Oh, no. I thought we're trying to. I don't want any sweeteners, though. Oh, I love like Garland. I've made a video about Garland for Lafreniere, but straight up, but that's obviously not going to happen. I'd have to think about that, Jay, but I think it involves one of the big salaries going and us not attaching a sweetener and not somehow retaining much salary. So I don't know how realistic that is. Yes, Buffalo is definitely our expansion cousin that hasn't won a cup. If Edmonton can't win with McDavid and Draisaitl, they can't win with anyone. That's fair. Having GMs like Burke, Nonis, and Gillis would be great for Vancouver right now. Yeah, we're still going to see what Alvin. We'll see. I think this summer will be his true test. There we go. My evil twin Smart. Coyotes, Sabres, Jackets, Wild, Predators, Sharks, Jets, Senators, Canucks, Panthers, and Kraken have not won a cup. Wow, looking at all those teams, I would say Seattle or Florida. Are they already ahead of Vancouver in their trajectory? If the Oilers get Hellebuck, I think they're set to win. Is that the rumor? I know Hellebuck doesn't want to extend in Winnipeg. Yes, Jaskrin. Ethan Bear sounds like he can play without the surgery, but it's just more risky. Will Columbus make the playoffs next season? Yeah, it looks like they're going all in with their new coach Babcock and then all these trades. They could make the playoffs. Is it wrong if the Canucks don't make any moves this offseason? Is it wrong that if the Canucks don't make any moves this offseason, that'll be the best case scenario? Well, they have to do something because they're over the salary cap. So they're going to have to make at least one move. Do the Canucks need another right-handed D with the Bear situation and Myers trade? They don't need one, but they should get one. So I guess that's as close to need as you can get without technically needing one. I wouldn't be surprised that Pullman wants to play again, but will his health allow him to? We need more trades and smart moves to be better and win. I don't think we are a Stanley Cup team yet. Don't worry, guys, it's coming. I like the optimism. 20K. Yeah, I got to get to 10,000. I got to get to 11,000 first, Adam. It's been really slow. my channel was skyrocketing towards 10,000 and then it just stopped. The growth just stopped, but maybe it's a challenge for me to do more creative stuff, different stuff, or maybe it's also that time of year as well. I have a feeling Vancouver will keep the 11th pick. I do too, Edmund. Canucks should never trade. There you go, Fillmore, 11th pick. Flyers won after 7 years. Wow. Clint says fire Bettman. And Paul gets the donation train out of the station. So thank you, Paul. Let's give some love to Paul in the chat. I appreciate your generosity. Thanks again. Yes, Paul hype as well. 1 million Clay. Well, you got to get to 11,000 first. I'm a long-term subscriber and just changed the name of my second account to this name. Let's see if you can guess who I am. The name of the account I usually sign in from. It could be anyone. I'm trying to think of who's here tonight, who's not here that's usually here. I'll have to, I don't know if I could name it in one night. I'll have to drop some hints. Unless it's IC. Is it IC? IC, is it you? That's my only guess right now. Because IC is usually around and IC is not around right now. Can the Canucks use a combo of LTIR and paper call-outs to be cap compliant? Yep, for sure. For sure. I think that, well, if they use a bunch of minor leaguers, but I think that the over the cap it doesn't include guys going on to LTIR. React to old Canucks highlights. That's fair. Can't monetize likely, but that's a good point. Rantanen's more consistent to me, but Kaprizov's skill set is pretty crazy. Every time I see him play live, I'm so impressed. So maybe I'll go Kaprizov. Nice to see you, Coach Rob. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. So does Garland play on the Canucks? Is Bovelli a guy that came from the Islanders? Yes. Garland is a winger. He's got 2 more years left on his contract. Bovelli has 1 more year left, and he did come from the Islanders. I've gone to the rink a few times to skate and shoot pucks. It takes a lot of energy for me to go, but once my gear is on, it's fun. Nice. I like it. Who becomes commissioner when Bettman retires or passes away? That's a really good question. I don't even know if they have anyone in line, and you're not IC. Okay, I'll stop guessing because, I don't think I'll ever get it. Give me a hint, Evil Twin. That's just weird seeing my own avatar and my name. Rantanen is great defensively, yes. I think Rantanen is also, he's good. I love him. I have both Rantanen and Kaprizov in my fantasy team, which is pretty cool. But I do think Rantanen does benefit from being on a really good team. Barbashev to Canucks. They got to find money, though. They got to find money. Kaprizov's skating is really good. Garland is still good. Love his speed. I'm scared Kuzmenko would have a sophomore jinx. Yeah, and that's why I think they only signed him for a couple years as opposed to a long-term contract. Good point. Good question, Fangirl, about going to the Young Stars. I don't think so. I don't think it lines up well with my work schedule, but we'll see. I'm not closing the door on it. I got gifted a membership on last Sunday stream. Got gifted a membership on last Sunday's stream. Are you? I don't think your manager Gurpreet. Huh. I can't remember now who got gifted. Was that the same stream that I brought? It's not Harry, is it? I thought I saw Harry. Oh, no, I haven't seen Harry in here. I don't think I've seen Harry's name in here today. I think someone else mentioned it too. All right, fine. I'll go. My next guess is Harry. Overrated player. Who? We've been talking about a lot of players. I don't think it's Jacob or Sean because I don't think those guys like to watch my streams. Barbashev wants to stay with the winner. That's not Vancouver. Taylor guesses, is it Jesse? Oh no, and then Harry comes in with the high Clay, so it's not Harry. That was really good, Harry. That was funny. Props to you. How many Canucks live in Vancouver year round? Tough to say. I know some of them live in BC, like Kelowna and stuff. I don't know how many actually live in Vancouver proper though. How good do you think a prospect pool is? Not great. It's not brutal, but it's not great. Oh, you are. Thank you. Well, it is Manager Gurpreet after all. So thank you, Manager Gurpreet, for picking such a good-looking avatar and great name. Okay, friends, I'll go for 5 more minutes. I'm willing to answer some Ask Me Anything questions in here as well. So because I'm in a good mood, either or, hockey or Ask Me Anything, I will answer any type of question for the last 5 minutes. Yes, now it's time for off-season madness indeed. Maybe I will do a stream on Thursday night and the theme will be priorities for the Canucks. Tyler, my son was born on the 1st. His name is Matthew. Congratulations, Tyler. So obviously June 1st, that's amazing. Congratulations, Tyler. Let's give Tyler some love along with his wife I won't presume, along with the mother of the baby and of course son Matthew. Congratulations, Tyler. Off season till puck drop. Indeed. Should we blow up the team and rebuild or keep adding assets? The Hronik trade tells me they're not going to blow up the team, even though that might have been the wise thing to do a few years ago. Do you think Lekkerimäki will benefit from a year in Abbotsford after coming from Sweden? Yes. Generally, unless they're amazing fangirl, they should do at least partial year in Abbotsford. I will not be at Saturday's Lions game. I'll be at a work function. But are you going, Ricky? Mama said knock you out. What type of moves do you possibly see the Canucks making during this offseason? Taylor, I'm going to save that for Thursday night stream, but they got a clear cap. Do I plan on watching the new animated Spider-Man movie? Not sure. I know Sean and Jake and some friends are going tomorrow night, but they didn't invite me, a bunch of jerks. So I don't know if I'm going to get to it. I probably won't watch in the theater. I'll wait till it comes out streaming somehow. Time for trade rumors nonstop this summer. Yeah, it's true. You know, it's funny. I'm not sure if Kempner's in here. Do you guys remember when Kempner asked me, hey, what do you think of guys making videos about trade rumors? And then I kind of gave my usual, it's not for me to judge, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended the stream and I realized that this isn't because he asked me, but he just posted a video about the Lafreniere for Garland trade rumor, and that was one that I was going to do anyways, but not until after my stream, which I did, and I released it early Monday morning. I try not to make it clickbaity, but at the same time, if it's out there and people are intrigued by it, there's no harm talking about it, I guess. Could we possibly get a good player from a trade during the draft, like what they did for the Miller trade? Yeah, perhaps, but then it means trading away more draft assets, so do you want to do that? Lekkerimäki will be in Vancouver, but EP40 will be gone by then because tired of waiting. Do you know that for sure, Fillmore? I wish they'd clear house. There's no way we keep up with Vegas, Edmonton, Seattle, Kings. Looks like they're going to complete their Kings look like they're about to complete their rebuild in a few more years. Clay calling his sons Carolina Hurricanes because they're a bunch of jerks, but Sean and Jake are they're very talented. Does Mickey watch the away Canucks games with you at home, or does he go elsewhere and hang out with other family members? Usually, it's hit and miss depending on his mood. Sometimes he lies on the couch. I wouldn't say he's watching the game, but he stays with us downstairs. Other times he likes his alone time upstairs. Do I see any players coming from Abbotsford or players going down to Abbotsford for the Canucks? I definitely think Niels Hoglander will start the season with Vancouver. I think Klimovich has an outside chance. Maybe Christian Wolanin. What was for dinner, Clay? Pizza Hut. I had that music practice with the couple that I'm doing music with, and Pizza Hut was the dinner that they made or they ordered in. Could we see a playoff push next season for the Canucks? I sure hope so, Harry, because that would be amazing if so, but we don't know for sure. Okay, last minute or so. Does Vegas deserve this win? How do you say that they deserve it? They had the best team on the ice this season, or at least in the playoffs. Florida was a one-trick pony. Yeah, it kind of showed a little bit how I get they're beat up, but everyone's beat up. But they were really in tough without Tkachuk. Why hasn't Jose gotten a new contract yet? Fangirl, I think, I don't know how much of a priority is, but I'm not worried because he's not going to make that much, and the Canucks will. I'm confident they will sign him. Oh yeah, Harry, we were guessing at who Clay Emo's evil twin might have been. That's why. I eat Hawaiian's my favorite pizza, so I eat pineapple. I just caught the highlights. You ever care about who the captain hands a cup to first? Surprise went to Smith and Marchessault. Well, I think Smith and Marchessault, yes. So I think it's important. It's a statement, and the team kind of figures it out amongst themselves. And I think it's great that it went to Smith. Marchessault was already Conn Smythe, so why not go Smith first? Smith and Marchessault are basically equal in terms of their tenure with the Vegas Golden Knights. Florida had more rest than Vegas. How would Carolina fare versus Vegas? I think they would have got beat up as well, quite frankly. And Joker, right now, the Canucks are over the cap by, it says on Cap Friendly, I have it open right now, they're over by 700,000. But obviously they could have up to 4 to 6 million on LTIR, even more. Last question, do you think the Winnipeg Jets could possibly make the playoffs? I don't think so. If guys are on their way out, like Pierre-Luc Dubois, Wheeler, Scheifele, and Hellebuck, I think they're going to be a weaker team next season. Okay, this will be the last one. Hurricanes will get slaughtered by Vegas. And this last question, I see. No problem. I'm ending off though. Did you already talk about your thoughts on the cup being handed to Quick so early? No, I didn't. I didn't go in through the entire order, but I didn't have an issue with it. He's a very respected player, but I was surprised that it was ahead of other guys for sure. Okay, last two for sure. First big name player to move from the Canucks, I say Garland. And when did I stop watching Criminal Minds? I haven't stopped. I just haven't watched this season yet. I have them all on my PVR because I've been busy with studying and vlogging and religious ed and work. And did I say bowling already? So I'm looking forward to watching them over the summer. Now, I must go, my friends. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you as always. Moderators, thank you. Didn't look like you're too busy, but that's fine. Legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Andrew Chang. Thanks for your support. Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. Thanks to all of you. And thanks to everyone, subscribers, and all you that have been loyally watching. I'm not ending off the season right now, even though tonight was the last game of the season. Still going to stream on Thursday night, and then we'll do a couple streams a week leading up to the draft. So don't worry, not going anywhere. I might take a break in July, depending on how slow it is, and naturally with being away in Peru and things like that. But for now, I'm going to still try and stream 2 or 3 times a week, not including Canucks After Dark. So my next one, I won't stream tomorrow night, but I will stream on Thursday night. Shout out to Paul, who gave the donation tonight. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. And for everyone else, on your way out, you can subscribe, like the video. You can still leave a donation. You can gift a membership. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And thanks once again to our sponsors, Vancity Experts and Perform and Transform. And again, I will see you guys on Thursday. That will be my next stream. Friends, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And I forgot to tell you, the funny thing happened to me a few weeks ago. I don't think I mentioned on the stream. I climbed into bed and she said, "I think you're drunk." Then I said to her, "Well, how do you know?" And she said, "You live next door." God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.